What is up, Gig Nation? Or should I say 9 to 5 Nation? Just kidding. Well, kind of. I'm not actually going to be changing the name of the channel, but yes, I did get a desk job. That's right, 9 to 5. I'm working 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, 40 hours a week. And in this video, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about why I decided to get a desk job and some other big things going on in the gig economy, because I keep my finger on the pulse of the gig economy talking to other gig workers. And right now there's kind of like this 50-50 scenario where 50% of drivers are still crushing it, and the other 50%, well, they're not doing so hot. They're seeing lower payouts, they're seeing fewer orders, and they are getting very frustrated. All of this is on the backdrop of a massive labor shortage. That means that there's a lot more employers out there looking for people that want to get those 9 to 5 jobs. And while we're seeing this labor shortage, while we're seeing this opportunity to get jobs, we're also hearing from the Fed chairs that they're going to be raising rates. And some big banks, including Bank of America, including Goldman Sachs, and also Fannie Mae, are predicting a recession in the near future. So we are sitting right here at the conflux of all of these major forces coming together. There's a lot of uncertainty, but still a ton of opportunities. And for me, that meant that it was the right time to get a 9 to 5 job. Personally, I think that there could potentially be a recession. I think that that fear is real, but I also think that that 50-50 paradigm, where those 50% of drivers that are still crushing it, I think that they could be potentially a little bit shielded from this, at least for a while. And here's why. Those drivers that are still crushing it, they're working in bigger cities, and there is just a ton of money out there right now. There is still a crazy amount of money. People are getting paid more. They've made a ton of money in the stock market. Really, this huge influx of cash that came through COVID is hitting the economy. It's on overdrive. And so there are still a ton of people crushing it in those big cities. That could continue to happen because that money is not going to disappear anytime soon, unless we go from a potential mild recession to something worse, where even people that have a ton of money start saving because of the uncertainty in the future. Unless that dire situation, that's probably pretty unlikely, actually comes true, then the top 50% of drivers, I think, will continue to crush it. But what about the other 50%? What about the people that are in smaller towns and more rural areas that are having a hard time getting consistent earnings in the gig economy? Well, the reality here is that things could actually get potentially worse for this group of drivers. And I don't mean to be pessimistic, but let's be realistic here. And I'm going to show you guys the light at the end of the tunnel, because even though the Fed is raising rates, they are essentially embarking on demand destruction, because there's so much inflation out there right now in the economy that the only way to fight that is to actually crush consumer demand, beat it down so that consumers are not spending as much, so that this supply of goods is met by less demand. And for the gig economy, that could also mean less demand for services. If people start to feel the crunch of demand destruction in their jobs and their paychecks in other ways, potentially they continue to cut back on spending on those extra services that, they don't really need, like someone delivering their groceries or delivering their food for them. So those people that are feeling it the most, maybe outside of big cities, they're the ones that are going to be cutting back, and those drivers that service those areas are going to be the ones feeling the pain. But as I mentioned, there is light at the end of this tunnel, and that's because we're still seeing a massive labor shortage. There is still a window here to get a different kind of employment. I do not want to push this on anyone, because I fully understand that a lot of people work in the gig economy for valid reasons. They absolutely need the flexibility for their lifestyle, whatever it is they have going on. And so I don't want to push this on anyone, but I'm saying seriously consider it, because this trend that we're seeing of diminishing demand could continue into the future. And there are a ton of great opportunities out there, not just to get any job, but to get a job that you might be underqualified for, because employers of all nature are having a hard time finding employees. So while you may think that getting a job means working at a supermarket as a cashier, there might actually be a comfortable desk job waiting for you. You could actually be getting a job that is above your pay grade, that you are underskilled for, because employers just don't know who to hire right now. And I know I joked about changing the name of the channel, but I'm actually still going to be doing gig economy stuff, and here's why. I was never actually really working for the gig economy much before 5 p.m. right? Like this has always been a part-time thing for me. I'm diversifying income. I have other businesses and other stuff that I work on during the day, or I'm just enjoying myself. If there's not high demand, if it's not a busy time, then I don't really want to be out. And those dinner hours were always the best for me. Lunch is definitely good too, but I'm okay with just taking the dinner hours after I get off work. So what I'm saying here is that if you do decide to get a desk job, that doesn't mean that you're not getting the gig economy, that you still don't have that exposure to those earnings, to working for yourself. You can still do it at the most optimal times of the day, but you just also have that job security that's potentially going to make you a lot happier. If you enjoyed the video, or you know someone out there that's struggling in the gig economy and you think this might help them, make sure to hit that like button, share this video with them, because I do think it might help some people. For other people, you're still crushing it, doing your own thing, running your business in the gig economy. Mad respect to that, not trying to take away anything from that, just trying to reach out to the other people that, may not be feeling the same way. And make sure to subscribe to the channel for more videos, because I'm going to keep you guys updated on my journey. And there's also, a couple of other tools that you can use to increase earnings while staying in the gig economy. I will be dropping a video on that in the near future.